Hello, Sean, Stephen, and the wonderful Laura. Great to hear that you're feeling a bit better. I am miles behind. When I say miles, I'm about 3 weeks behind in episodes. Oh, by the way, this is Yusuf. Sorry, I should have said that originally, shouldn't I, really? And I should have said hello to the double tappers as well. This is that ever so long awaited, so much so that I hope nobody was holding their breath for it, review or quick comment on my Apple Ultra 2 watch, which I think is what it's called. I've had it for, God, it must be 8 months now, and I really, really love it. It's in so many ways, in all ways, I think superior to either definitely superior to the Google Pixel Watch 3, which I hated because of the speech. And actually, and please don't tell anyone I said this, it's superior to the Google Pixel Watch 1 as well. But I didn't say that. So a quick description, it's a rectangular shape. It's kind of reminds me of the old Vox talking watches, for anybody who's old enough to remember them from the 1990s. When I got it, I was a bit surprised as to how big it was. I'm one of those people that I think I know how big something's going to be, and then when it turns up, I'm a bit kind of surprised. So it was quite large. I was surprised. I asked 2 people to tell me whether or not they thought it looked ridiculous on my scrawny little wrist. One was my sister, one was a close friend. They both said no, so I think I can probably trust them. It's rectangular. When you've got it on your wrist, and I've got mine on my left wrist, you have 2 out of the 3 buttons on the right-hand edge, which is closest to my hand. One's the crown, one's I think it's just called a side button. On the opposite side is what I think is called the action button, and you can assign that, and mine is assigned to exercise shortcuts, so I can press that and tell it that I'm going for a walk, and it will start recording that. One of the brilliant things is it uses my very favorite TTS, which is good old eloquence. I just think you can't beat it. I like the fact that I can have it going quite fast, and all these things that are supposed to sound like natural voices, I don't think they do. And when you speed them up, they sound even less natural than when they're at normal pace. Just to run people through quickly why I went for the Ultra 2, because of the battery life, it's slightly better. And I think the processor is slightly better. One of the great things about it being rectangular is I find it easier to put my finger at the top left-hand corner of the screen and then swipe through it. I found that a little harder with a round face, which is what I had with the Google Pixel Watch. So I'm just going to quickly unlock it. I've turned the speech up as loud as it'll go, so hopefully people will hear, and I'll take you quickly through the home screen. So let's unlock it.
2112. Vitals. Typical. Training. No workouts. Do not disturb. Temperature. Currently 11. High 16. Low 6. Battery. 32%. 2113. 80 BPM. 10 minutes ago.
Beats per minute.
Actions available.
And there's the actions available. And just because Sean was quite impressed by the number of steps I did last time, I'm going to go to the next option.
Move rate 153%. Exercise rate 353%. Stand rate 125%.
And if I double tap there.
Today. Steps 20,670. Distance 14.44 km. Flights climbed 21.
Okay, I'm showing off a bit there. That's not the largest number of steps the most number of steps I've ever done. That was 32,000. A couple of things I don't like about this watch. One is you can't have the steps on the home screen. So I had to go into the Apple Health information in order to get the steps information, and I'm really interested in the steps, and that's on the 5th page of the health information. The other thing I don't like about this watch is that periodically I will get access to the home screen, and I'll put my finger on the screen and it'll just click, that very annoying Apple click sound that suggests that you're doing something that's wrong or that there's nothing on the screen. And the only way out of that I found is to just put my hand on the screen to lock it and then unlock it again by pressing the crown button. The other thing that periodically happens is that it will say notifications, 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 and nothing else but notifications. And it will say that over and over again. And again, the only thing I can do to stop that is just lock it by putting my palm on the watch face and then try unlocking it again. I don't know why it does that. It just does. I suppose nothing's perfect. In one of the episodes I heard recently, which I think was probably originally broadcast back in early February, Stephen mentioned that his watch changed its volume when he went outside. And that rang a bell in my head. I think there's an option somewhere in VoiceOver settings on the watch about adapting the volume based on background ambient sounds. And I wonder if that's what's going on with Stephen's watch. And maybe if you have a look in there and turn that off, it might stop doing that, because that's not something I've experienced. The battery is brilliant. I can go 48 hours, and my habit has been to charge it every 48 hours first thing in the morning for an hour. It gets down to around 33, 34%. And another quick little gripe I have with the watch, it will not record sleep data when it's down to 33%. And that seems to me to be a rather high level for not recording information. I could kind of understand it if, we're talking 12%, but 32, 33, that's still roughly a third of the battery life. In fact, I never got to the battery stage. It is actually at about 33% now, so I'll have to go and put it on charge. It's well worth it. If you are in the Apple iOS ecosystem and you're interested in health metrics, like I am, it kind of encourages me to keep up my steps and to go out regularly for exercise and go out for my walks in the park, which is where I listen to your podcast. I would highly recommend the Apple Watch. Highly. Right, that's enough for me. That's way too long. Hopefully this will be good enough quality for broadcast. I was doing it on my iPhone 16 Pro. And hopefully you all heard the watch okay. Cheers. Keep up the good work.